or for yourself and your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come join the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the Super Bowl at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Buffalo Wings and Rings? It's the Super Bowl party with 93.7 The Ticket at Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, February 6th, featuring members from the Nebraska baseball team. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the Ticket into a skate park. You heard that right, a skate park, and also highlight the upcoming year for Husker baseball with players from the team. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, February 6th, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss.
I love pushing hard at the gym, but the soreness after, not so much. I researched about what to look for in a good red light system, so I tried the Spectrum 7 at Max Tan. The full body red light relaxes and refreshes my muscles. It's part of my recovery routine, Max Tan.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic, February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it, February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air,
and electrical.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome into the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket, the show that gives you unique insight, unbridled honesty, and producer Jake and I, despite, just doom and gloom out there right now. You and I were talking about just doom and gloom. Just, it's cloudy today, dreary. Jake, are you going to bad news Bach on us today? Or what are we going to do here?
I don't think I have to. I think it's already out there.
In all honesty, though, we got a great clip, man. We got a few great clips we're going to play today. Duke, head women's basketball coach. I was like, man, the title's interesting. So I started playing the clip. She talks about how, and I was just like, I told Jake, I was like a bobblehead, just nodding yes to everything she said in this particular clip. Talking about sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes you just wait for things to get easier. Hey, can I just get through this part? Can I just get to that part of next year? Can I just get through this test? Can I just get through this, whatever it is, to the next thing, and it'll be easier? And then you discover it never really actually is, and then you've just missed certain parts of your life. And I don't want to give away the whole clip, but she talks about it. It's not about waiting for things to get easier. It's about handling the hard better. And that's as much as I'm going to say, because I was like, oh my gosh, I freaking love that. If you're trying to, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what it is. You could be trying to build a business. You could be trying to raise children. They're wonderful, but they're hard. Embrace the hard. Handle the hard better. And because when they get older, you don't have to change 50,000 poopy diapers. But now all of a sudden you got all sorts of other concerns. And especially if you got girls as they get older. And, so if you're trying to build a program, a football program, a basketball program, there's going to be challenges. Don't complain. Just get the clip ready. Is it ready? I threw it to you.
Ready, yeah.
Okay. I was going to wait till the segment 2, but we just kind of roll. We know what we're going to talk about, and then by God, we just roll. It's like, I'm not interested in what happened before. We know what happened before. That's why new people get hired. I'm not interested in who was here and who may not be here anymore, although we're going to talk about the individual we thought was going to be our special teams coordinator is now a high school head coach. What does that mean? Is that concerning? Does that go beyond the field? He took a gigantic, what we would perceive to be a pay cut potentially for this to happen. What are the challenges along the way? Like, I don't want to hear, I didn't create this mess. I didn't do this. Look at these people who have left. For me, it's been hard. Some good things have happened. We're not where we want to be, but we're going to handle the hard better, and we're going to get better. And that's what we're going to guarantee is that we're going to grind like we haven't ever before, because we're just going to keep ratcheting it up, and we're going to keep embracing the hard, and we're going to keep handling the hard, and we're going to keep getting better at handling the hard so we can get better in general. Now, I'm kind of alluding to the football program, obviously, but I'm going beyond that. It's just in general, like, go ahead and play the clip, because seriously, well, hold on. Before you bad news Bach at some point today, don't you do it like once a show, at least?
I tried to, yeah.
You tried. I couldn't have scripted a better, I tried to. Couldn't have scripted a better answer. Why don't you be a giveaway, Bach? Because we do have some Super Bowl squares, and then we'll play the clip. All right. So let's give some free stuff away. Let's make some people happy, and then we'll play the clip and proceed on with the show.
Yeah, we've got 5 squares to give away today, so let's just do it all at once. First 5 people to text in square to 402-464-5685 will win a Super Bowl square, which will give you a chance at prizes for our Super Bowl party. You don't have to be there, but we welcome you to Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday for the Super Bowl. So square to 402-464-5685. Remember, if you already have a square, you can't win another one, so no reason to waste your energy on texting there.
Just had to bad news Bach a little. Just a little bit right now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. Win some Super Bowl squares. Super Bowl this Sunday. I don't even know what the spread is. I assume the Seahawks are a decent favorite. All right. Is that accurate? A decent favorite?
Yeah, I don't remember what the exact number was. I can look it up. But yeah, they were I think it was 7.5 or something.
Oh, that sounds about right. I was like, will it be over 8? Like, will it be over 1 possession? That's what I was curious to see. You think the Patriots can they keep it within a field goal? Maybe, obviously they can maybe win the game, but I think people are just kind of like, you probably wouldn't beat the Broncos. If the Broncos had Bo Nix, you really probably shouldn't be in the game. The Seahawks just kind of, it was a great game versus the Rams, but man, they just kind of steamrolling people this year. It's not on their field in their house. That 12th man makes a difference up in Seattle. Now, Seattle's still a really good team. But part of that is, how much do you believe in Sam Darnold? Of all the quarterbacks in his draft class, a lot of talented quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, the like, he's the first one to make the Super Bowl. Who would have thought that, by the way? So how does he play in the Super Bowl? He played really good in the NFC Championship game. He's played really good. Again, I talked about it. He's won 30 NFL games as a starting quarterback the past 2 years, more than any other quarterback in the league, including Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, who won a Super Bowl last year, all those guys. So he's been on a lot of good winning teams. But I'm curious. I'm curious if Jake thinks this will be a competitive game or the Patriots just going to, can they keep it within one score? Real quick, then we got to get back on topic here.
Yeah, so first of all, the spread is at 4.5. So
wow.
Opened at 3.5, by the way. So
really?
I was giving them too much credit.
Oh.
I think the Patriots can keep it close. And I know they've got the easy schedule that everybody says, but I mean, you made it to the Super Bowl this far. It can't be too easy. The NFL still has some pretty good teams. In their losses this year, they did lose, and this was earlier in the season, obviously, by 7 twice and by 4 once. So you kind of look at all together this year, they've not lost more than one possession. Seattle, I think does have. I think a lot of people they're the favorites because of the weapons they have, and those are a little bit more threatening than the New England's, but it's not like overwhelming. So I mean, this game could go either way.
Who were their losses to, out of curiosity?
The Patriots' losses early in the year were the Raiders, not a good one, and the Steelers.
That's only 2. I thought they lost 3.
Further earlier in the season. Then the Bills, later in the season.
Okay. Well, maybe that's why the spread is what it is. They've never been beaten by more than 7, and most of them were within 7, so that makes sense. Some more good news real quick. If you're interested, second annual Carriker Chronicles Youth Football Camp is back this summer. You can learn more and to register at carrikerchronicles.com. The GOAT, Tom Osborne, will be our guest speaker. Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch will be there. A man who averaged, this is still my favorite stat, 11 pancake blocks a game. Consensus All-American national champion. He's also the assistant athletic director down at the university. Brendan Stye will be there. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, national champion. The ticket's own Terrell Farley. Guys like Kenny Wilhite, 25-plus years in coaching. A lot of other guys will be there. I'll be wandering around for some reason as well. But you can learn more and to register. It'll be July 8th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in Lincoln at carrikerchronicles.com is where you can learn about that. Let's go ahead. Let's play the clip. All right, back to Duke's women's basketball's head coach dropping a little bit of knowledge here.
I was talking with Shay a couple days ago, and one of the things we talked about was how we all wait in life for things to get easier. Think in your own life, if you waited for something to get easier. Oh, I just got to get through this, and then it'll be easy. I just got to get through preseason, and then it'll be okay. I've just got to get through my junior year of high school, and then the classes are going to get easier. I've just got to get to my spring of my senior year of college, and it's going to be easier. It's what we do. We wait for stuff to get easier. It will never get easier. What happens is you handle hard better. That's what happens. Most people think that it's going to get easier. Life is going to get easier. Basketball is going to get easier. School's going to get easier. It never gets easier. What happens is you become someone that handles hard stuff better. So that's a mental shift that has to occur in each of your brains. It has to. Because if you go around waiting for stuff to get easier in life, it's never going to happen. And then what happens? Oh, it's so hard. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I don't know when is it going to be easy for me? Oh, it's easy for other people. It's not. It's hard. And the second we see you handling stuff, handling hard better, what are we going to do? We're going to make it harder. We're going to make it harder. Because we're preparing for you for when you leave here. Not just basketball and life. And if you think life, when you leave college, is going to be all of a sudden get easy because you graduated and you got a Duke degree, it's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. So make yourself a person that handles hard well. Not someone that's waiting for the easy. Because if you have a meaningful pursuit in life, it will never be easy. If you're trying to win a championship, if you're trying to have a family, ask your parents, do you think it was ever easy for them to raise kids? Karen, is it easy? It's not. Any meaningful pursuit in life, if you want to be successful at it, it goes to the people that handle hard well. Those are the people that get the stuff they want. People that wait around for easy, you probably see them at the bus stop. They're waiting for the easy bus to come around. Easy bus never comes around. Got to handle hard. Okay, so don't get discouraged. through this time. If it's hard, don't get discouraged. It's supposed to be. And don't wait for it to be, I just got to get through the summer. And then it'll all of a sudden get easy in the fall. No, it won't. It won't. It won't get easy in the fall. So make yourself someone that handles hard well. And then whatever comes at you, you're going to be great. You're going to be great, okay?
Hey, Jake, do you think we got 2 school buses in front of us right now outside the window? Are those the easy buses? You think? Have you ever taken the easy bus, Jake?
I mean, I would say this, as much as I do love everything she said in that clip. If you do get an opportunity in life to, don't pass up what's given. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to take the easy route. And sometimes, take the not the easy route, but the breaks in life that are granted to you.
I would say don't take things for granted. Like if it's there, take advantage of the opportunity. Don't take it for granted. Don't take people for granted. But she's right. I've said to my kids a lot, and maybe it's not 100% true, but I'm trying to send a message to my young kids. If it's easy, it's probably not worth doing. Things that are worth doing are hard. That's what I tell my kids. And again, that's not 100% true, but I do believe it's 95% true. Like 19 out of 20 situations that are worth doing, 95% of the time they're going to be hard. And so for me, it's hard what Matt Rule's trying to do right now. It's been hard. And, I think sometimes we see some inconsistencies. Sometimes we see changes. Sometimes we see things that were a little bit different than we saw or heard a few months ago or a year ago, or it doesn't match or it doesn't track. For me, let's handle hard better. I think that would be a huge thing that would help the program. Maybe a new, fresh starting point, like, hey, bam, this is where we are. It's closer to where we want to be than we were when we got here, but 3 years in, we're not even close to where we actually wanted to be 3 years in. Maybe just say it. Like, hey, things are a little bit better. Excuse me, unfortunately, they're not a lot of bit better, and we're gonna make some changes. And we're going to figure out how we're going to do this, who this is, who we are while we're doing this. And we're going to embrace this process. And that's what we're going to do going forward. And we're going to handle hard better than we've handled it so far. No finger pointing anywhere else. No compliments followed by underhanded compliments, so to speak, which happens sometimes in general. And that's what we're going to focus on. And so to me, that really stuck out to me. And honestly, when I heard that at first, when she was talking, I wasn't even thinking about Nebraska football, but you sit here, you talk about Husker sports, Nebraska football, it pops into my head as well. So let's talk about, he had never officially been named our special teams coordinator, which I always thought was interesting. Like, what are we waiting on? Matt Rule said, go ahead and say his name, guy.
Josh Martin?
Yes. He said his name, couple of names, when we didn't know if Eckler was still going to be here. Now we know Eckler's not here. It's like, well, why hasn't he been named? And then all of a sudden, some news comes out last night. Liberty Christian High School in Texas. Jason Witten coached there in recent years, by the way. They announced that Josh Martin is their next head football coach. All right, he joins us from the University of Nebraska, bringing 15-plus years of experience at both the collegiate and high school levels. And they're happy to welcome Josh Martin as their next head coach. So obviously, they're excited about that. It's something Josh Martin obviously wanted to do, or he wouldn't have agreed to do it. But that also involved leaving Nebraska. And when you hear this, it's like, oh, man. It's another, and he was never officially our special teams coordinator, and maybe there was a reason a little bit now that we understand for the delay in the announcement because, he's still not going to be our special teams coordinator. So maybe there's some behind the scenes non-football things that are related to this that we're not aware of. But when you heard this, Jake, like another coach going somewhere else, I mean, high school football is great. It's phenomenal. I highly support it. I wouldn't say that this is an upgrade in the job. When you have a D coordinator who leaves for a lateral job, Eckler, he's coaching special teams and linebackers at USC. So you could say that's an upgrade, so to speak. But when you have coaches who are leaving for lateral jobs, I don't know that this would be an upgrade. It's certainly in pay. When you look at a couple of these things, the average salary for a higher tier Power 4 special teams coordinator, it's roughly, depending on the program, the coach, etc., it's around $500,000. Now, Eckler was going to make $625,000. Obviously, that's a different case now. When you look at high school coaches in Texas, they typically make between $100,000 to $130,000. All right. When Liberty filed in 2021, their head coach made $119,256. Now, there's nothing really after that up until now because it was mostly Witten, and I don't think he got paid a lot. I don't think he needed to, and I just think he just wanted to do it. So, obviously, that's a drastic difference in pay. Now, he was at SMU. He was SMU's special teams coordinator a few years ago. So there's probably some familiarity, some connections there. I wonder how much that plays into this. But when you heard this, Jake, I don't want to know what your reaction is now. Immediately, what was like the first sentence that popped into your head when you heard this?
Well, I was kind of confused because it announced that he was named that, so the first tweet that I saw was like some confusion about like, is he going to do both? Is he going to be a special teams coach and a high school coach? Okay. I had to look into that first, in all honesty. So that was a bit of a, it's just funny how you take in information. But obviously that was not going to be the case. But initially you just kind of think, man, because he seemed in line to be the next special teams coordinator. And so, obviously you feel like, man, how is this? And you see a couple times now, it feels like there's been a couple guys off these staffs of Coach Rules that are taking lateral moves. And so, I mean, this is obviously very different situation. So initially I was a little bit bothered or upset about it. And then you just kind of have to start thinking through it. And I think that there is a good possibility that maybe this is in reaction to not getting the offer to the special teams coordinator position. If you remember when Coach Rule spoke about this, they said they were going to handle it in-house. And so everybody assumed, okay, well, Josh Martins was their tight end coach when they needed a tight end coach a couple years ago. Has been working with the special teams the last couple of years. He's probably the guy. But he's also mentioned in that Brett Maher and Nick Humphrey. And so maybe the writing on the wall or the way that it was going was that Maher or Humphrey was going to get the special teams coordinator position. And this is Josh Martin reacting to that and saying, well, if I'm still going to kind of keep doing this, I can't pass up this opportunity to coach high school ball in Texas. I mean, to be fair, it is in Texas. This isn't my league in Southeast. Love them. But, if you took a job here, coaching Nebraska football, I'd been like, wow, that just can't happen off your Nebraska football staff. But this could be a big move in his career, kind of moving forward. We've seen coaches go that route. So, as I kind of thought through it afterwards, initially shocked, surprised, maybe upset. As you kind of think through it more, I don't know if he was in line to be the special teams coordinator.
Do you think that's what it was? We don't know.
We don't know.
We may never know. I'm sure at some point Rule will be asked about this. Who knows when it is? Maybe there's a press conference in the near future. Maybe it's not for a while and it's no longer on people's radar at that point in time. So we may never know. But Rule specifically brought his name up. He was the special teams coordinator for a couple of seasons at SMU. Now, Humphreys and Maher, they've never been special teams coordinators, have they?
No.
So you would have thought Josh Martin would be the favorite for this. Now, we don't know that definitively. Maybe there was a writing on the wall. If that's the case, then this comes across completely differently. If that's not the case, then it makes you wonder, why do some guys go for lateral jobs? Why do some guys go? And maybe there's something in his life that drew him back to Texas that we don't know. Maybe there's something, when I said beyond, like there could be something within the walls of the university that led to this. There could be something beyond the walls of the university, beyond the football field that led to this. Something in his life, maybe something, I don't know. There's so many question marks right now. Right off the cuff, I was like, what in the world is going on? That was my first sentence. That's why I asked, what was your first sentence that popped into your, what in the world is going on? But as you process it, you think about it, it doesn't look good. That was my initial reaction. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, is this real? As you process it, there's more questions than we have answers. The more answers you get, the more definitive you can be in your reaction, which is why gut reactions can sometimes be rather entertaining. But as you get more information, and that's where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get the information. I don't know if are we going to have a press conference soon and these questions will get asked and answered? Will it be a while from now? Will it be so long from now that nobody cares, so nobody asks the questions because there's other news going on at that point in time? My initial reaction was, what is going on? Is this real? Since then, you have time to process it. I don't know that I feel any better or worse. I think there's just more questions than we have answers. And what I do know is Rule has Eckler's system. if I'm being honest with you, him talking about Eckler's system didn't make me feel a lot better. I'm like, why did we need a coach's system? Like, why didn't it's okay to bring in a coach and he does a good job and he turns around a unit, but it's like Rule feels he has the answers now because he got a hold of Eckler's system. Were we completely without answers before the system? That was my concern. Were we completely without answers before the system? And it's more than a system. It is people. It is the people on the field carrying out the X's and O's and executing or not executing the plays. It is people coaching people so that the plays and everything on the field and blocking and tackling is executed well. You can have a system, but if it's not executed by the players and it's not coached well by the coaches, that's a completely different thing. Plenty of teams have run similar offenses over the years. The same offense ran by two different teams can be way more effective by one and way less effective by another based on the people involved. So that's what's going to remain to be seen. Who's going to be our special teams coordinator? And now it's going to be even more interesting to see how the special teams does this year because our special teams coordinator from last year is gone. The perceived next in line is gone. Now, maybe he wasn't. Maybe there's writing on the wall and that led to this. We don't know. But there's going to be a lot of interest in how the special teams does this year in particular. So we'll see how that unfolds, how that all works out. Anything else pertaining to this before we go to break? Because then we need to resume our 4-1, 5-0 talk from yesterday. I told you as soon as I saw my wife, she goes, 4-1, 5-0 next year, huh? So we got to resume that. All right. Pick up. We do got to talk about games 6 and 7 at some point. You can't just stop after the first 5. Then we got to address the next 7 after the first 5. So we'll talk about that. Also, when it comes to the size of the line, the size of some of the players that we have, I've got some analytics here. I shared it earlier this week. I'm not sure how many people heard or saw that, so I'm going to share it here again. Like the average size of our O-line, the average size of our D-line compared to most Big Ten O-line and D-lines and Power 4 O-line and D-lines. And it was pointed out on early break here on the ticket that Nebraska didn't bring in a single top 100 transfer portal player in their transfer portal class. That includes Anthony Calandria. Is that concerning at all? What does that mean? How big of a deal is that? Kenny Minchie was a top 100 rated player, obviously not here. Okay. But before we go to break, we dive into all that. Any final thoughts on our perceived special teams coordinator to be, again, perceived, nothing was ever finalized. And if Rule comes out and says, no, that was not the case, hey, we've given ourselves enough leeway with what we've said here that it's okay. But taking a job that I would not consider an upgrade or a lateral job, as much as I love high school football, and definitely taking hundreds of thousands of dollars less in pay if he was going to be the special teams coordinator. Do you have any final thoughts on that yourself, Jake, or the text line?
No, it's just, again, now you're kind of left to see what they go from here. Again, reading it from the outside, I just can't imagine, like, for all those reasons you just mentioned. I mean, it'd be a big step up, get back into kind of being at least a positional coach / coordinator, right, at special teams. It is worth noting he's not like a 15-year Matt Rule guy, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he came to Nebraska when Matt Rule came here. So, as far as that goes, but, I think especially what you mentioned, having been a special teams coordinator before, that would have made you feel a little bit better. But Ed Foley was a special teams coordinator before. That's on his resume. It's not going to make me feel better if they go with Ed Foley over Brett Maher and Nick Humphrey. The other thing is that system that you're talking about. Nick Humphrey played for at Tennessee and helped kind of coach in there. So maybe he best knows the system. And then, Rule also called Brett Maher, as we know, kind of a secret weapon. Knows more than just the kicking and punting part of it. Really knows special teams. So, I still think that there are some interesting options there. Are you going to feel great about either of them? Probably not. But would you feel great about anybody besides Eckler? Out of these three, you'd still kind of see the writing on the wall. So I'm not looking at this Josh Martin move and going, well, they're going to go from 8 wins to 6 wins. Could be. Maybe he is going to pull off something. But, as far as prognosticating, weird move, but I think I just need more details.
I don't think I'm ever personally going to get excited when I hear about a system. I'm just not. The same system can be average, great, and awful based on who the people are that are in charge of the system. I mentioned this yesterday. Did you ever think Babies R Us? Well, people who were born in the last 5-10 years may have no idea what I'm talking about, but Babies R Us was a monster. Toys R Us was a monster. You ever think you'd see a day where they wouldn't be around? Like, did you, Jake?
Well, they've been gone for a long time, but no, when I was a kid, I didn't. Right? Blockbuster.
Yeah.
There's plenty of options. Yeah.
So I was going to Blockbuster next. Did you know that in 2002, Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix?
I haven't heard that before.
And they declined it. And then Netflix put them right out of business. My point is, you can have a machine, you can have a business, you can have a system that is rolling. You ever seen a business where the mom and dad built it up and then maybe a kid takes it over that isn't the best qualified, but because they're the heir, they take it over and then it goes straight into the ground? I'm not saying it happens every time, but you ever seen it at all?
Yeah.
I have, a lot.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that's not the perfect example of the people being more important than the system. So if you got a good system, that's a phenomenal, like, third or fourth most important key, because 1 and 2 is the players, coaches, execution, discipline, and how you do it, in my humble opinion. Didn't we just talk about that? With football, it wasn't about, with defense, it's not about the X's and O's, it's more about the people. Didn't we just talk about that in December?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any thoughts, what's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
Text in and let us know. And when we come back, and Jake declares Nebraska 7-0 after the first 7 games. You like how I just threw you under the bus there? You can feel free to text in about that too. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I love pushing hard at the gym, but the soreness after, not so much. I researched about what to look for in a good red light system, so I tried the Spectrum 7 at Max Tan. The full body red light relaxes and refreshes my muscles. It's part of my recovery routine, Max Tan.
Flowers and chocolate are great for Valentine's Day, but you know what really earns you bonus points? A massage. No, not from you, but from the professionals at The Body Shop. Now is the time to purchase a gift certificate for your significant other to make sure you're the big winner this Valentine's Day. Go to thebodyshoplincoln.com and select from their wide variety of specific massages. Once you've purchased, you can either print out the certificate or email it to the lucky recipient. Do Valentine's Day right this year with a massage from The Body Shop, right behind Eyeglass World at 56th and O.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come join the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the Super Bowl at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Buffalo Wings and Rings? It's the Super Bowl party with 93.7 The Ticket at Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, it's the noon hour, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means. It's time to have a little Mulberry Barbecue. Now, 2 locations at 11th and Cornhusker and 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations, ladies and gentlemen, are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their delicious burn-in sandwich, a delicious brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more. Plus, get incredible size, get fuel for lunch today, or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue. Also, shout out to Hamilton Telecommunications. Folks, they're going to bring you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. 125 years and still going strong. Learn more about the residential and business services at hamiltontel.com. You want to discuss the size of human beings or our schedule first?
Let's go with the size of human beings.
You like how I phrased
now
that?
I'm interested.
I
Yes.
tried to make it as not as awkward, but like as unusual sounding as possible. Let's talk about the size of human beings, specifically linemen. So you look at, and again, this is all projection. I don't know who the 5 starting offensive linemen are going to be, but let's just say it's the 3 portal guys and the 2 guys returning with the most experience. It could look completely different than this. I would love for Grant Bricks to have a great spring and Preston Tamua to have a great camp and Sam Sledge to step up, and we'll see what happens. All those guys are very, very talented. But if it's Elijah Pritchett, Paul Mubenga, Justin Evans, Black, and Tree Babalade, Big Tree, all right, our average starting offensive line size of these human beings would be 6'4", 321. The second stringers, again, this is all projection. It's frickin' February. We'll see how this all plays out. Gunnar Gatulas, all right. Preston Tamua, Sam Sledge, Grant Bricks, Tyler Canuck. That second string O-line, depending on what pans out, combined average is 6'5", 317. How do those sizes hit you without me telling you what the typical size of Power 4 lines are and Big Ten linemen are, Jake?
It just seems bigger than what Nebraska has been in the past. They've seeming like they're moving up. I think, you'll have some guys, obviously, Prohaska, some of these guys can kind of help factor into that when you got a 6'10" guy in there or whatever. But Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they've got the right amount of size in there. That doesn't seem to be the problem with the offensive line.
So I remember doing this last year, and I forget what the height was. We were taller because of Prohaska and some of those guys. I think the average height was like 6'5", 6'6". I mean, Prohaska's like 9'10". He looks like it too when you stand next to him. But we were like 318. We weren't small by any stretch last year. A little more poundage this year. So you look at the average Power 4 offensive lineman. Then we'll do Big Ten specifically. Now, this is based on data from 2017 to 2024. Admittedly, the Big Ten data was harder to find. Okay, Andy Jurassic helped me out with this. A little harder to find, but believe we've got an accurate enough info that we can roll with this. So the offensive line, Power 4, average in general, 6'3", 75 inches was specifically listed out here. So I thought that was interesting. 75 inches, we're going to go back to 6'3". And hold on, that's the D-line. Let me go back. 6'4" to 6'5", 6'4" to 6'5", which is 76.5 inches and 301 pounds. Now, that's not the Big Ten. It jumps up in the Big Ten. That's Power 4. You go to the Big Ten, it's 6'4" to 6'5", and it is, let me see here, anywhere from 314 to 320 pounds. So we were over 320. So again, I've said for years, we have an experienced line. We have size. Like, we've always had that. Just got to find the consistency on the field. So the other side might be a little interesting to people. Talking about the defensive line. Again, this is all projection. Okay. So at the end, if this turns out to be the way that we think it might be, you got Cam Lenhart, 6'3", 270. Williams Nwaneri, 6'7", 265. Inside, you got Riley Van Poppel, 6'5", 295. Stoudemire, 6'1", 290. So the average would be 6'4", 280 pounds across the front. If those were our 4 starting D linemen of the 4-2-5 defense. The backups, again, this is all projection. Okay. Jones, Whittington, Lefotu, Petshak, okay, 6'4", 277. So it is a little bit on the lighter side. We knew that already. You compare them to other Power 4 D lines. We're talking again, there was the 75 inches I read earlier, which was incorrect for the O-line, but it is correct for the D-line. So 6'3", and it's about the mid 280s to 290s, like 285, 290. You get to the Big Ten, and it's relatively the same range, but the range I'm given, the bottom goes up. Instead of it being like 270, 275, it's now the lower end is 280, 285, all the way up to 300 plus. So again, you go back to our guys, the average, depending on who the 4 starters are, but who we wrote down here was Lenhart, Van Poppel, Stoudemire, Nwaneri, 6'4", 280. So definitely a little bit on the lighter side. Not really at ends. I mean, 6'7", 265 is more of a pass rushing type D end, Williams Nwaneri, which we kind of know anyways. Cam Lenhart listed at 270. And again, they got a full offseason of lifting. So these weights could go up. In fact, they better go up, to be honest with you. You would expect them to go up. That's a fair thing to expect. You look at the number 2 projected defensive line. You got 265, 270, 300, 265. Whittington at 270, that's definitely light on the inside. I was listening to I can't remember what it was. Somebody was talking about him, and they called him the little fella. And I was like, that seems a little. It was just a passing comment too. It was on a show. It was during an interview. So they called him the little fella. And I was like, I don't know about that. But 6'4", 277 for the number 2 projected defensive line, the second string. So definitely a little bit lighter. I've said all along. I mean, we've only got a couple of guys listed. One guy listed at 300. One guy listed over 300. That's it. Similar to last year. So for me, we've got to be able to, if you can stunt and you can blitz and you can move around, you can do those things, that's great. But you don't want to have to do it all the time, because then it becomes predictable. When it becomes predictable, people know you're going to do it. And it's much easier to slide a protection, to have a certain blocking scheme that's game plan for you, and then you hit a crease. And when you got guys blitzing and you hit a crease, it means you don't have a lot of guys back. You got to be able to line up, hit people in the mouth, knock them back in your base defense without having to blitz all the time or be predictable in your blitzing, because that's how you keep offenses off balance. That's how you prevent giving up, 73-yard touchdown runs and 50-whatever-yard touchdown runs to Michigan, because we actually held Michigan in check. If you take out those 2 plays, we actually defended the run really well. The problem is you can't take those out. And then Michigan averages over 6 yards per carry when you factor in those big, long touchdown runs, and those were huge swings in momentum and factors in the game as well. Michigan, those runs just popped into my head. The Bryce Underwood had a 37-yard touchdown run as well, because I remember there was a third one. Those 3 runs were over 100 yards. You take those out, we actually did pretty good. But the problem is, it's not, hey, take out their worst plays and then let's keep score. It's like, no, you have to keep track of everything, and you can't afford to give up those big plays, even if you're containing them the rest of the time. You got to be able to knock people back. Do you have to be the biggest line in the world? No, Indiana wasn't that big. But you got to have some size. You got to be really good at what you do. It's easier to do it when you've got bigger bodies in the middle to clog it, make it more challenging on the O-line. It frees you up to do other things. Maybe your ends can get wider. I love to be in a wide 9. You angle, and you're coming straight off the edge. It's hard to do that if you don't trust your guys in the middle. And I haven't studied Rob Archek's defense enough to know how much he does that. I'm going to look at it throughout the offseason. But when you hear some of these things, what are your thoughts on all this, Jake?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And a reminder with those numbers, maybe you could get a signing day surprise with, or not surprise necessarily, but a gift from Dylan Berryman, who's 6'2", 330. I don't know if you'd factor into those 2 front lines, but that is something I think a lot of people identified would be helpful. Even switching to a 4-man line is somebody with that type of size that can play. Now, could he do it as a freshman? Dylan Parrott's kind of got that size. Is he ready to go? He was in the transfer portal, came back. I think that's kind of interesting as well. But to your point, the rush defense was kind of bend but don't break, but breaking earlier in the season. But by the end of the season, and when teams are scoring 40 points on you, they're just kind of consistently moving the ball. So it really broke consistently at the end of the season.
Yeah, there was no bend, unfortunately. There was just the other word. The last 3 games. So you remember, I forget, it was like 8 games into the year, Nebraska hadn't allowed 400 total yards in a game. For the last 3 games, we gave up an average of well over 400 yards a game and over 40 points a game in those last 3 games, unfortunately. So when we come back, I get so nervous talking about like the schedule, looking at the schedule. It's fun. I like doing it, but you used the term yesterday that made me shudder. You can find a path. As soon as you said that, I was like, no, you said the term. Is there anything off the text line before we go to break? Because we will talk. I don't have any other thoughts on that for now. We will talk about the schedule a little bit when we come back. Is there any thoughts off the text line right now?
There was a question here from Ghost Mohawk, and this is not really on topic, but I thought it was interesting.
Okay.
Said, hey, Adam, would you rather have won a Super Bowl or a national championship with Nebraska?
Dude, you turned heel on all of Southwest High School. Am I supposed to turn heel on the entire state of Nebraska right now?
You can.
Well, I didn't win either. Just to be clear, I did get an awesome ring. It's a wedding ring, but I didn't get one related directly to football. So, true story, when we were getting my wedding ring, I was it was right before I got drafted. My wife was like, if you win a Super Bowl one day, your wedding ring's got to be able to hold up to that Super Bowl ring. Never ended up having to worry about that, unfortunately. So I tell the truth, or my version, or my how I see the truth to be, not my version of the truth, but how I see the truth from my perspective, my opinion, and I let the chips fall where they may. I would take a Super Bowl championship over a national championship. I just would. All right.
Why is that? Just pinnacle of the sport.
Are you kidding me? It's the freaking Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
It's the pinnacle of football. It doesn't get higher than that. You've got, I was going to make a joke, Pop Warner championship and then the Super. That'd be a terrible joke. But my point is, yeah, I would take the Super Bowl. Yeah. I would. Yeah. But I can't tell you how badly I wanted to win something along those lines here at Nebraska. And the games that I remember aren't even the games where we, had a big win or we played really well. I remember the games that were frustrating. The games that I still wake up sometimes thinking to. Texas in the snow, Oklahoma, stupid Auburn. Why we fake a punt on our 17? Anyways, do you know the games I'm talking about, or do I have to dive into?
No, I know,
Thank
man.
you. I don't want to. I didn't feel like going into any more detail. Those are the 4 games I think about the most. People are like, "What's your favorite memory?" I have to think about that for a second every time, even though I know what it is now. I've been asked enough. I got asked the other night. I was doing a speaking gig. What's your favorite memory? I still have to think about it. If you ask me, what's the things you could change? Oh, boom. Immediately those things pop into my head. That's just how I'm wired. It's how I operate. I did get a text going back to the system talk. You know, I've kind of used the building a plane while you're flying it analogy in the past.
Yeah.
On the system talk, just because you have a plane doesn't mean you know how to fly it. Thoughts? Or does that say enough?
Yeah, that says enough.
We'll see how well we fly the plane. Hopefully it's a smooth and not turbulent. Right, it's going to be turbulent, but hopefully the plane lands a little bit better in the future. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come join the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the Super Bowl at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of foods for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Buffalo Wings and Rings? It's the Super Bowl party with 93.7 The Ticket at Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, February 6th, featuring members from the Nebraska baseball team. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. You heard that right, a skate park, and also highlight the upcoming year for Husker baseball with players from the team. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, February 6th, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Dana Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Flowers and chocolate are great for Valentine's Day, but you know what really earns you bonus points? A massage. No, not from you, but from the professionals at The Body Shop. Now is the time to purchase a gift certificate for your significant other to make sure you're the big winner this Valentine's Day. Go to thebodyshoplincoln.com and select from their wide variety of specific massages. Once you've purchased, you can either print out the certificate or email it to the lucky recipient. Do Valentine's Day right this year with a massage from The Body Shop, right behind Eyeglass World at 56th and O.
Hey guys, it's Austin Orman. Join me and former Husker Jay Foreman this Friday, February 6th for Old School, live from Back 9 Golf, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Roads in South Lincoln. We'll tell you all you need to know about the premier indoor golf place in Lincoln while enjoying Friday afternoon action of the Waste Management Open. Stop by for giveaways, prizes, and a tour of the facility. We hope to see you there on Friday, February 6th, beginning at 3 p.m. for Old School, live from Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We have made an executive decision that we cannot talk about the next 7 games in good conscience in the next 3 minutes. So we're going to talk about the next 2 games. All right. So what is our official prediction here? Was it February 2nd, February 3rd, early February? What are you getting for Valentine's Day, by the way, for your wife? You even thought about it?
I was looking around the store the other day.
I literally just thought about it for the first time right there. All right, so Ohio, Bowling Green, North Dakota. What's our record going to be? We got to lock this in here in February.
It's got to be 3-0, otherwise,
okay,
it's trouble.
All right, Michigan State, Maryland. Are we 5-0, 4-1, 3-2? What are we thinking here?
I think it's probably. I think they've got to aim for 5-0, obviously, but I think it's fair with where Nebraska's been. Maybe to say, okay, 4-1. That's probably fair for the first 5 games.
If we're not 4-1, we got trouble. We got real trouble. So we'll go with 4-1. Indiana, Oregon. We're going to take in the next 2 games, and then we'll finish with the last 5-game block on Thursday. So Indiana, Oregon, then we got a bye week. And I will maintain this as a huge bye week. What's crazy about that Halloween game, October 31st versus Washington, it's going to be after a bye week. It's going to be obviously Halloween, probably the blackout. That's going to be a crazy environment. So I will say this. I'm not going to predict us to beat Indiana. I'm not going to predict us to beat Oregon. What I know is Indiana's got some tough games. They have 9 straight weeks without a bye week. I believe at that point, they would have a 21-game winning streak if they have not yet lost at that point. So I think Husker fans would be amped, especially if we're at least 4-1, maybe 5-0. A lot of people would see it as fool's gold, but you can go out and you can do some things versus Indiana, do some things versus Oregon, and just, whether you win or lose, see where you're at. Test your mettle. Take the bye week. So predicting we're 4-3. Is that what we're going to say for right now?
I
after
think
7?
That's yeah.
Okay. Go into the bye week. And then, man, that last 5-game stretch is huge. If you're 4-3, you got the bye week. Probably, we're going to predict right now losses to Oregon and Indiana, Washington at home. That may be the momentum swinger for the entire season. Blackout game, Halloween, probably at night. Washington, preseason top 20 team right now, good football team, following the bye. People are going to be amped. You win that game, you're sitting at 5-3. Would not give me, November is not easy. Illinois, Rutgers, which is halfway across the country, Piscataway, Ohio State, and Iowa. But you could at least get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of feel-good juice flowing. And, man, we'll see what happens. I guess we went through the next 3 games. But after 8 games, we're going to say Nebraska. Are we predicting Washington to win or us to win right now? Let's lock it in right here, right now. We can never change it, ever, no matter what.
That's right. Well, it's tough. I agree with you. That's the swing game of the season. I think that they'll do the blackout. You got a 2-week build. Really tough to tell where Washington's going to be. Is Damon Williams going to take that next step? Does he even want to be there? All that sort of stuff. But if we
got to lock it in. We got to lock it in now.
I'm going to go ahead and say that is a victory, since I'm a little bit still about that 5. I think they could start 5-0. Wanted to be fair to give them 4-1. Let's. I can make up for it here. I feel good about giving them maybe a victory there.
However it looks, we're going to say 5-3 after the first 8. How about that?
I like that.
Yeah. I can live with that. And we'll deal with November. By the way, it just looks more daunting the more I look at it. We'll deal with November on Thursday. So lock it in. Adam and Jake has Nebraska 5-3 after the first 8 games, going into a big November. Rules 2 and 10 in November. How you feel about that?
I don't feel great about that. But and then what? 3 of the 4 games on the road?
Yeah, I was going to point that out on Thursday. I was trying to leave on feel goods, Jake.
Okay,
all right. Until next time, go Big Red. And always remember to throw them bones.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again